Cain Vu sat quietly in the aisle of the plane, her gray hoodie loose over faded jeans, a small backpack slung over one shoulder. She had scraped together every dime from months of part-time lab shifts to upgrade to this exit row seat for extra legroom on her long flight east, where a scholarship interview awaited. Her notebook, filled with meticulous handwritten notes on trauma protocols, rested on her lap, barely noticed amid the building tension around her. Moments later, the disturbance arrived in the form of Crystal Beaumont, a famous influencer streaming live, her designer sunglasses perched on her headphones, her voice dripping with manufactured sweetness as she mocked Cain's modest attire. Behind her, 6 men, ordinary in appearance, watched with measured intensity. They weren't random passengers, they were Navy SEALs, all indebted to a medic from a classified mission. The girl they had just been ordered to protect was none other than Cain herself. As Crystal demanded immediate acknowledgement of her VIP status, her manager Darren Clady leaned over the head flight attendant, flashing his diamond-level frequent flyer card like a weapon. The young flight attendant froze, caught between the aggression of the celebrity, the stoic authority of Marin, the head flight attendant, and the calm, unassuming figure of Cain. Cain's only crime, it seemed, was existing quietly while poor. She stood, rolling her small bag, as laughter and scorn rippled through the cabin. A businessman deliberately blocked her path, Darren loomed nearby, and Crystal continued her high-pitched tirade, holding up the cheapest ginger ale from the cart as a trophy of humiliation. Every calculated cruelty was designed to inflict maximum emotional damage. But then, the 6 men moved. One by one, in different rows, they rose in synchronized calm. Wraith Maddox spoke low, brandishing a military ID. Federal regulations prioritize safety, and Cain qualified for the exit row. Cade Sutter subtly disrupted Crystal's live stream with a device, causing it to stutter and fragment, neutralizing her weapon of public humiliation. Marin, the head flight attendant, recognized the weight behind the men's presence. This wasn't merely a dispute over seating. It was federal protocol. Cain wasn't just a student. She was transporting a highly specialized, federally developed medical sensor package essential to national security. Every attempt to move her could have jeopardized a mission-critical operation. The revelation silenced the cabin. Crystal, momentarily stripped of her performative power, could only stare as the SEALs confirmed the stakes with quiet authority. Federal marshals arrived, taking control. Unedited footage exposed Crystal's deliberate cruelty, Darren's complicity, and the airline's failures. Sponsors pulled out, careers were ruined, and Cain quietly returned to her seat, dignity intact. As the plane docked, Cain wheeled her bag through the jet bridge, calm and steady. She received a final confirmation, a coded gesture from the captain and air marshal signaling the success of the operation that had protected her all along. Her uncle's influence had ensured her safe passage, far beyond the public spectacle. Later in her hotel room, she added notes to her binder, reflecting on the day's chaos. Fear could twist narratives, but silence anchored truth. The next morning, she walked into her scholarship interview with quiet confidence, her answers precise, drawn from years of volunteer work and real-world experience. By the end, her acceptance confirmed it. The stakes were high, but she had navigated them with integrity and skill. Weeks later, back on campus, life continued. Hoodie swapped for scrubs, viral videos faded, but the lessons remained. Strength wasn't loud. It was the steady grip on truth. And for Cain Vu, finally, the world had seen the quiet power she had carried all along.